Hey guys, Luna here, and we're back with Hiveswap Friendsim. In the intro of the last episode, I actually lowered the volume a little bit more since it felt like the volume was a little loud, so hopefully it'll be a bit better in this episode. Anyways, let's get back into it, shall we? Since now we are on volume 7 of our things, and we're going to go to Konyyl Okimaw, another jade blood from what I can guess. So right now your travels have brought you to what appears to be a normal road in an incourse part of town. Not particularly upscale, but not exactly a rat trap either, just pretty average. A row of those spiky purple bushes line the side of the road, and behind one of them stands a large, fierce troll who's glancing furtively up and down the street. Okay, that's less average. Hey, are you her? Huh? I mean, are you her? Are you who I'm waiting here for? I can't do a gruff voice. Well, your first instinct is definitely to tell her that yes, of course you are who she's been waiting for, provided she's been waiting for a new friend. But honestly, you aren't sure your stick is going to work on this girl. Of course, that's not what I was thinking. This is so infuriating. So she's so late and bored. You think she's coming soon? You don't know who she means, but you suggest that she might be more comfortable waiting somewhere that isn't a stinky purple shrub. You're stupid. A client's value discretion. I have to lie low. The shrub hardly manages to cover her, and standing behind it and shouting is completely not making her less conspicuous. Neither is asking random passerbys whether or not they are her clients. Not that you can talk. Accosting people left and right and asking them to be your friend is kind of your whole deal. If you aren't Country Lady 453, then who is? Country Lady 453? That almost sounds like... Sorry I'm late, I couldn't... What in tarnation? So that's actually our... You know that gentle charm anywhere. Well, my stars! She knows Skyla, so that's kind of cool. I'm writing this down because I like putting this in the description. I wasn't expecting to see you around here. What a masterful coincidence. You're incredibly glad to see Skyla, and Lady too, and all unkidnapped and everything. You give Skyla a hug, which she enthusiastically returns. She nearly picks you up off your feet. Lady shoves her nose against your neck and gives you a few sloppy licks. Who the heck are you? I have business at this bush. Maybe find your own. Sorry, but I'm the my brain just stopped for a sec. But I'm the business your bush has been looking for. Wait, what? You're a country lady? There's it. Name's Skyla Korgia. Pleasure to meet you. I think you'd be a bronze. I've gone that before, honestly. Also, bar the pie, this concerns them too. She puts her hand on your shoulder. Does? Sure enough. They were there when it happened. They even helped me fight off the varmints who tried to take my luskus. Yeah, you said something about that in your message. But I don't get it. What do you want me to do? Well, right, the bandits didn't get a lady, but other kids haven't been so lucky. Lowbloods have been hit especially hard. I want you to find the bandits' base of operations, and I want you to take them out. Permanently and painfully. Konya's mouth moves silently, like she's trying to reason through the steps of Skyla's conversation. Then she catches up and a slow grin spreads over her face. Yeah, I like painful and permanent. But wait, you want me to get revenge for someone else's luskus? Why? Well, a few of us got together and decided to do something about it ourselves. There's no hope of the heirs or the drones doing anything to stop the bandits. And they all elected me as spokestroll, seeing as how I'm the oldest and least easily shook. Okay, sure. I guess why isn't important. How much you got? How much are you willing to throw down? I doubt any lowbloods could afford my fees, let alone a bunch of country rusties. Lady starts to growl, and Skyla puts a pacifying hand on her head. Everything's fine, lady. We expected this, didn't we? We were hoping you'd be willing to do it out of the goodness of your blood pusher. Konyyl laughs so hard she spits. Skyla winces. You got a pun, sorta. If you think I'm gonna take any charity cases, I don't work for pretty smiles. Keeping compliments to yourself, Missy. I didn't mean to say that out loud. Why don't you just go find the bandits for yourself? You know full well I don't have the means, but you do. It'll be a walk in the recreational field for you. If you weren't so nasty and shellfish, or maybe you're scared. I'll show you scared. Oh hell, they look like they're about to throw down. Gotta do something to defuse the situation. Let's tell them you know people. You mentioned that you are important, a real mover and shaker in the Arterian economy. You have a bunch of amazing local friends. Some of them are rich or have giant internet followings, or just very enthusiastic about needs. The point is, you know people. That's really generous of you. Offering to leverage your relationships for my sake. I knew I didn't make a mistake trusting you. That's a different story. Yes. Why don't you call up all of your fancy friends? Oh, fuck. You don't have a phone. Why am I not surprised? Ask if she works on Spes. What? I don't work on Spes. I'm only listed on Artelia. Just kidding, I don't have a license. Explain to Konyyl that working on Spes means doing some work for free in hopes that you are going to be paid later. You see, it's unlikely that the bandits only go after Luskai. That would be totally ridiculous when there's so many other things in the world to steal, like money. They probably just have heaps of money in their hideout. If she breaks in, she can have it all. Skyla doesn't want it. She just wants to have to save the Luskai. You're so dang convincing that you almost convince yourself. I'm not so sure. Sounds like you might be trying to fuck me over. You let out a scandalous gasp to convey just what untoward accusation that is. You are just shocked. Shocked! Fine. Anything to get away from this stupid bush. She kicks the prickly shrub so hard it uproots and sails across the street to land on the hood of someone's car. But you're coming with me. I'm gonna hold you to that. And if there's no money, then I'll hold you tighter and squeeze until your weirdly colored eyes pop out. Yikes. You'll believe it too. She could definitely do that. But here's your chance. Got a ton of success stories proving that forced exposure is really the best way to get people to like you. Sounds just peachy. When do we leave? Konyyl kicks at another bush. She seems to have an anger management problem. Well, guess she is managing it. She's taking it out on the shrubbery instead of you, Skyla. We aren't doing anything. You aren't coming. Lady starts growling again, and Skyla looks like she wants to join in. Excuse me? Konyyl gets in her face, moving way faster than someone her size seems like she should be able to. You aren't coming. You'll just get in my way. You're distracting. Skyla's mouth twitches just the tiniest bit. That is not what I meant. You're tricking me. I just meant that you'll probably stop to save some bark beast riddlers and get us all called. Skyla crosses her arms and tosses her hair. Fine. Counting on you two. You figure that the information gathering stage of the operation is next. You've seen heist movies. You know how this stuff works. Konyyl just shouts at someone on her palm husk for a while, then punches some coordinates into a car that you're pretty sure isn't hers. It takes you to the outskirts of the city, past long stretches of cracked concrete and urban sprawl. Not exactly the place you'll expect to find bandits who steal farm animals. You point this out to Konyyl. She tells you to shut up, so you do. You leave the car and walk the last few blocks. The bandits' operation is honestly not super impressive. It's a long industrial structure that looks more like a manufacturing plant than a den of thieves. Besides, it is something much more impressive. A chic black spacecraft, not like yours. This is the Mercedes-Benz to your banged-up Chevy Malibu. Even before you crash-landed it, that thing was a hunk of junk. Oh, holy shit, is that an adult? Wait, the ship? No, dingus. You follow her frenzied gaze. Oh, right. The troll beside the ship is taller than anyone else you've seen here. Her skin a darker gray, her claws incredibly long. If everyone you met so far has been a kid, wow. They all dealt with stuff that even adults on your planet don't. routine death, dismemberment, and like 4 different relationship dynamics. If there are really no mature adult trolls here, then where are they? Wait, hold up. You're saying that where you're from, you live with adults? Yeah? You all live on the same planet. Sure do. Huh, well, maybe you're tougher than you look. Adults are terrifying. Come on, let's get closer. You and Konyyl saddle up close enough to get trolls over them haggling over stolen goods. So far, the conversation is too general to tell if they mean the Luskai. Damn, they must have globs of steel, talking back to an adult. I mean, I'm great at rushing it in without giving it any thought, but I'm not a total moron. The two trolls appear to come to agreement. They shake hands and heading back into the warehouse together. So what do you think? What you would do? Huh? You? Konyyl is the expert here. Shit, for punching. I'm also good at slashing. But Azdaja always did the thinking, the planning. He's the one with the eye beams and the big think pan. Don't tell him I said that. Please. Are you sure you can tell? So a Azdaja. You sure you couldn't tell Azdaja anything at all, because you don't know who he is? Oh, right. Azdaja is a frustrating, bludgeoning loser who sucks so bad. He's my mate sprite and have been together for sweeps. He's supposed to be here, but he's off busy doing some other dumb stuff. So I need you to be the pans of this operation, okay? Please do this for me. Oh dear. Well, let's save again. Search your spaceship. Here's your chance to prove you're totally capable of making non-disastrous choices. You reason it would probably be best to check out that space cruiser while it's empty, since who knows how many people will be waiting for you in the warehouse. Yeah, that works for me. You suspect Konyyl would have agreed to anything you suggested just as long as she didn't have to do the decision herself. What a mood. As the kids say these days, big worm. There are so many tough decisions in your life recently. You're worried that the spaceship would be locked and your great plan is going to be over before it begins, but the door glides open easily and silently. Konyyl leads the way and you let her. You don't know what wild security measures a troll ship has, but you do know. You don't want to find out. The inside is normal enough. A pilot and co-pilot seats, a central panel covered in more of the squiggly Italian language, and a bank of sleeping screens. Other than that, it's remarkably barren of any homey touches, not like your ship, which, in your humble opinion, was very nicely decorated. You got some pretty dope posters on your wall. More to the point, there's absolutely nothing of value here. Konyyl can tell also. Ag, there's no point in being here. This is just a cruiser. All the good stuff is definitely going to be inside the warehouse. Okay, fair. You have no idea what you're doing. You're sick of pretending that you do. You wish you could take a breather, honestly. The strange, compulsive desire for more friendship is still there, but you're pretty exhausted. Let's just... fuck. Oh wow, that's kind of for you, Konyyl. You aren't even at the friendship stage yet. Okay, calm down, you gigantic tool. Oh fuck. That's an adult troll, and we are definitely going to die. That's why I said the fuck word. Oh, fuck, that's a big troll. Konyyl's pretty big. She's the biggest troll you met so far. If someone fed you the truth serum and put a gun to your head, you might even describe her as... this troll is terrifying, and she looks pissed. Or maybe that's just how her face always looks. There are teeth, lots of teeth. Who told you could be here? I didn't order any ugly wigglers. Who are you calling ugly? Konyyl immediately slaps a clawed gauntlet over her mouth, apparently remembering who she is shouting at. The adult troll growls, and you don't mean she sounds angry. It's not a husky, sexy metaphor. She really fucking growls, a deep, guttural animal noise. Staring into a pair of merciless cobalt eyes, you experience a pulse of crystalline fear, blank and cold. You are pretty much constantly braced for death, but that doesn't mean you're looking forward to it. Instead of springing forward and rending you to pieces, the adult just stares at you. Damn adult monstro. Take a picture, it'll last longer. Last thing you remember is those blazing eyes, and even that fades and you slip away. When you thrash back into consciousness, Konyyl is rummaged right on top of you, pinning you to the warm, thrumming metal of the spaceship wall. She doesn't look angry or scared or anything. Her snarling expression is utterly blank. You say your name a couple times, but she doesn't twitch. She just squeezes down harder, grinding the bones of your wrists together. Someone is swearing. Fuck, you strain to see around Konyyl's head. The adult troll is seated at the pilot seat, and the console is lit up. You realize what the thrumming in the wall means. The ship is moving. You see the sickly green-gray of the Etherean night sky, and your stomach does a disorienting leap of mingled elation and dread. You can't believe you're actually going to space and finally heading somewhere besides this hell of a planet. Of course, that's how you felt when you first were leaving Earth, and you had no idea where this troll is bringing you, and your new prospective friend is just sitting there here like she's hypnotized. She only reacts when you struggle, and then only to slam you back against the wall. You just randomly fell asleep, didn't you? How the heck did that happen? The adult starts talking again, but she isn't talking to you. No, I'm on my way. No more delays. I promise. The Skyla shipment is on schedule. Do not worry. Everything is... Sirens scream and screens flash. The ship bucks wildly like a sailboat hit by a wave. The adult troll's fingertips fly over the consoles. Oh, what the hell? I don't know. It's like I lost all control of the damn thing. Fuck. Konyyl's grip on you loosens. She pulls away and shakes her head back and forth, shaggy hair flopping into her eyes. What the hell? Where are we? She sounds small and lost. The adult troll doesn't turn around. She's too busy yelling at Mayday into her comm and trying to wrest back control of her ship. The whole thing shudders again, and yours and Konyl's heads bonk together. The ship bonks again. It feels less like an engine failure and more like a gigantic baby is shaking it like a rattle. And you're scared, sure, but you're also awash in a sudden, unexpected flare of understanding and competency, because this isn't your first time this has happened to you. This is exactly how you crash-landed on Azdaja in the first place. You were just passing by, minding your own space business, when your ship just decided it wanted nothing better to do than snap its rays and toss its wild head, and head straight for the unfamiliar planet below you. You push yourself to your feet, trying to tame your nausea as the ship rolls. You grab Konyl's hand and pull her across the compartment to the glowing green jewel on the wall. You don't know much, but you do know absconding when everything starts falling to crap. Hey, what are you? Hell, let go of me. To do that, you will not be able to be friends with her because she will be dead. With the strength born of desperation, you pull her into the escape pod with you. It won't fit. You will. You do, but it's uncomfortable as heck. Craning your neck at an uncomfortable angle, you manage to reach around Konyyl and press the big red button on the wall. Alarm sounds and you hear the adults say, "What the?" before the door slams shut and the escape pod pockets outer space. You shudder back down toward Azdaja, Konnyl's weight crushing your delicate ribcage. Poor ribcage. You're surprised it hasn't sued you for damages yet. Wow, that sure was a crap show. Hardships bring people together, don't they? That's definitely a thing. Unfortunately, you judge Konnyl swearing and mutter death threats that this is not one of those times. And this is a game over, but, I mean, not surprising. And I'm gonna load back into this time we're going to go into follow the pirate into the warehouse. You decide to follow them into the warehouse. That way, at least you won't be trapped in a confined space if anyone comes back to check on the ship. You get ready to do some James Bond stuff, ducking behind corners and saying, "Cover me," maybe executing some sick rolls down the hallway. You can't really do any gymnastics even when you aren't healing from broken ribs, but fantasy James Bond sure can. Konnyl doesn't bother with any of that. She just stomps down the hallway to the first door. Damn, she really hasn't been joking when she said she was more into the straightforward approach. You pick up speed to try and get to the door before she does, just to prevent her from charging in there and getting you both caught immediately. Good thing too, through the window in the door you can see what looks to be some kind of break room. A couple of trolls are messing around on their palm husks, and a few more are sitting at a table and playing some kind of game that involves cards, dice, and little colorful shells. Come on, there's not even that many. We can take them. I forgot you weren't my partner. You weren't my partner, you're just dead weight. No real argument there. But Polya told you that most pros work together for a reason. It's much harder to work on your own. You wonder if Konyyl would have been so hot to take the job if it hadn't been for Skyla's vibes. Yeah, that's a word, vibes. They were vibing. You have to do this. You have to rally. Konnyl is already losing faith in you. Or maybe she had no faith in you in the first place. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You chose a different door at random and go down it, assuring Kola that you definitely know what the heck you're doing. What? What are you going? You've been down this road before with Damien and your meat quest through the sewers. This is possibly slightly higher stakes, but the same principle applies. Fake it till you make it. Konyyl gets annoyed much faster than your other friend, if her sub-vocalizations are anything to go by. Damn, you really need to step up your game. You think back on the heist and infiltration movies you see. Maybe you can find a locker room or a troll laundry room and find one of those SWAT hazmat suits. Yeah, that would definitely be the best plan. Just put on a disguise and wander around like a sneaky heck and goddammit. You're busy focusing on your brilliant plan that you open a door without thinking and find yourself looking at the trolls playing the card game. Somehow, in your random quest through your warehouse, you manage to double back on yourself and come out on the other side of the break room. Classic. This is a classic you. You're almost charmed by yourself. Almost. There is a frozen moment when all the bandits just stare at you and Konnyl, perhaps taking in the truly staggering idiot level you've just achieved. Think, fuck, you should have done this from the beginning. You've gotten into quite a few fights since arriving on this planet. Well, mostly stood around while other people fought. But the point is, Konnyl, she's brutal. She takes out almost the same number of bandits that you, Skyla, and Lady did in a quarter of the time. Multicolored blood flies. And God, you know these are bad guys. They've been stealing Leskite and selling them, which sucks. But right now they're just kind of a bunch of kids getting massacred. You don't feel great about it. In fact, you think you might need to sit down for a little bit. Oh, there's a little bit of blue. That's different. Or, I guess, your back hits the wall and you slide down the dirty floor. You're clammy all over. Pathetic. Konnyl pulls her gauntlet out of the final troll's neck, with a spray of yellow blood in her scrunch that makes your stomach roll. She notices you on the ground. Are you serious? Come on. You try to tell her that she volunteered you for this mission herself. You can't slow your breathing enough to get the words out. You're not sure why now is the time you finally freak out. Maybe it's a close quarters, or maybe you've been on Ontario long enough for this multicolored mess to finally start registering as blood. Maybe you've reached the horror saturation points. Whatever, if you learned anything from this experience, is that the why of things doesn't actually matter. Konyyl looms over you, raising a gauntlet. She's going to kill you. At least if you're dead, you can puke on yourself. But instead of a brutal stabbing, you feel a steady pressure on the back of your neck. Konyyl pushes your head down until it's between your knees. Take slower breaths, idiots. You follow her instructions, too lightheaded to dwell on the absurdity of being coached through a panic attack by a girl who just murdered like 10 dudes. She's surprisingly good at this. Did freak out Azdaja freaked out his first fight too. Wasn't even bloody. And the little wiggler passed out. I guess some bloodcasts are really good about violence. She sits down beside you and pats you on the back. You kind of wish she'd taken the bloody gauntlet off first, but you appreciate the gesture. You're having a hard time reconciling this Konyyl with the one who had startled up Skyla for being too nice. I'm a multifaceted, I also fuck her. Which reminds me, she pulls her phone out of her pocket, smearing a little olive blood across the screen. Where's your got your bandits? She talks a lot louder on the phone than she does in real life. Yeah, no shit. Of course I work fast. Especially when I don't have anyone to slow me down with a bunch of tactics and plans. Save it for your Christmas. She hangs up and glares at the phone. You tell her she really seems to hate Skyla. Only her face goes fierce shade of green. Don't be stupid, I barely know her. You don't press the issue. You also don't point out the kind of obvious point that these are probably the only chosen facility. The one who had been haggling with the adult isn't here, for instance. But if Konyyl is forgetting about them means less murder, you are all about it. There's no way the bandits are continuing to work after this. Konyyl also seems to have forgotten about the fact that she came in here looking to get paid, and no, she's looting the bodies. Great. It's a lot messier and takes way longer in real life than it does in video games. In the end, she ends up with 5 palm husks, a laptop, some jewelry, some little squares of plastic you think might be sci-fi credit cards. Whatever. There's barely anything here. But that fight made it pretty worth it. Well, you're glad it was good for somebody, at least. You're trying to not think about it and maybe get it out as fast as possible. Whatever Konyyl wants to do with your outstanding debt at that point, well, you can square up out there. Yeah, don't worry about that. Not actually going to squeeze you. It would just be too easy. Like squishing a mark bug. By being pitiful. Huzzah! Thought you have any money anyways. Meteoring and a Boolean robe. True. Honey helps you to your feet. Kinda wanna ask if you're friends now, even though the only bonding activity you've done together is combined murdering and comforting, with her doing both of those things and you standing there like a dumbass. But really, you made friends with worse people for worse reasons. Oh, here. Why don't you take one of these? She hands one of the palm husks. Thankfully, it only has a little bit of blood on it. Actually, it might be mustard. Like the actual condiment. But she's giving you a phone? Why? You don't have one, right? I mean, you don't even have any pans. This way you can keep in touch. And you can tell me if you have any more jobs with an excellent violence level, like this one. Here, let's exchange info. Palm husks are really useful. You can use them to call people on everything. You aren't sure if she's making a joke. Possibly she just thinks you're an idiot. That's okay, you can deal with that. Because not only did you make a friend today, you got a gift. Well, she killed it. Yeah! Victorious! Victory! And we got a phone! Huzzah! Anyways, I'm going to end this here, and I hope you guys have a good day, night, week, months of your lives, and may the stars forever guide your path, wherever it might lead you into the future. Bye-bye.